know, this mass shooting here, along with others, it's brought up a lot of emotions and opinions, especially about guns and the requirements to be able to buy them, and whether there should be more control over who is and can buy them. Now, News 3's Angela Bohan joins me now. And Angela, during the week of the tragedy, you're joining us more with where gun policy stands and whether any change is possible at this time.
That's right, and I'd say it is possible always, but 1 year ago, on Thanksgiving Day, I interviewed Senator Eloise Lucas, and she said basically it seems too easy for someone to buy a gun these days. And Delegate Cliff Hayes, who represents Chesapeake, I talked to him in the parking lot here, and he said that he and family members of some of the victims wonder if a waiting period to buy a gun had been in place, would their loved ones still be here with us today? And he is vowing to fight for a change.
There needs to be a change in how quickly individuals can run out, get a weapon, and then return right back.
You see, police say just hours before the shooting, Andre Bing legally bought the 9mm handgun that he used to kill 6 people and then himself. I saw the effects when I was here in the parking lot as grieving families fell to their knees crying. And I talked with survivor Jesse Wilczewski.
He had the gun pointed at me, and then he pointed up at the ceiling, and he told me, "Jesse, go home."
Later, Delegate Hayes proposed legislation to require a 3-day waiting period to purchase a gun. However, it did not get far. But now there's been a shift. Democrats controlling both chambers of the Virginia General Assembly.
I believe, after talking to many of my colleagues, both in the House and the Senate, that legislation, when I introduce it this session, has a very good chance of passing both chambers. But then, of course, there's the hurdle of getting past the governor.
I reached out to Governor Youngkin's office. They did not answer whether he would support a required waiting period, but the governor did give the following statement, which said in part, "Horrendous acts of violence have no place in our Commonwealth. During this difficult time, we must support the Chesapeake community, friends, and family forever impacted by this tragedy, and I pray for their continued healing." As far as the waiting period to buy a gun, some studies show that a cooling off period leads to fewer shootings. But the owner of Bob's Gun Shop in Norfolk tells News 3 there's another side to that argument.
We deal with, on a daily basis, people that have had stuff happen to them the night before. Their house has been broken into, or, where they're truly in fear for their life, where they've got a situation where they need a firearm.
As we approach the new legislative session, Hayes is vowing to keep fighting for change.
We have got to be courageous enough to do the things that are going to be necessary for us to bring about a change in this trajectory.
And you heard in my story from Jessie, who is a survivor. I just heard from her last night. Certainly our thoughts and prayers are with her and all of those affected. And, Pari, as we see people gathering tonight, it certainly brings up a lot of emotions.
Absolutely, Angela. And as you mentioned, our thoughts and prayers are with all the victims, all the families, and all of those people who have been affected by this terrible mass shooting. Angela, thank you so much for your report on that.